Hi, and welcome to another episode of Marketing Insights with me, your host, Yasha Harari of yashaharari.com. Today, we're going to talk about a very useful and practical issue. It's a top 10 list of how to earn links with online influencers. When you earn links with online influencers, obviously it can dramatically help your social signals and as a result increase your SEO if you get enough increased traffic and engagement. And obviously it's good for your brand exposure if you have a brand that's either a startup or a mid-sized business looking to grow and take it to the next level, or even if you're an enterprise company and you're already at a level of well-known branding, but you're looking for new channels to reach out to and new audiences to address. So before we get into the top 10, it's important to remember that what you're trying to do is really create unique content that you want to make shareable, and you want obviously this to impact your promotion of your product, and you want it to help you build relationships, which is really the most important part of this entire function. And if you're into looking for advertising, it can help you with sponsorship. Um, so the way we're going to look at this list is we're actually going to start with the concept of building the relationships, because that's actually the key to this whole thing. And if you take nothing else away from this podcast episode, or if you just don't have time to listen to all of it, well, this is probably the most important part, so listen to it first, and then the rest is all gravy, essentially. But building relationships is really what this is all about, and so what you should do is support the goals of the influencers that you're mentioning or chatting with on social media in the articles and comments that you write. Sometimes it's easy to be negative and comment negatively on posts because you might disagree with something or find something disagreeable, but that isn't a reason to be negative about it. You can still write positively, even if you have a critical commentary. If you make it a constructive criticism, it'll be a lot better received, and it will likely spark a conversation, even if you don't agree necessarily with the author's point of view. But in general, it's easier to make the influencer reach back out to you, if you actually are supportive of what they're writing, obviously, because then they see that they're getting support and they're more interested in finding out, what your support is all about, and how it is that you might, be interested in a partnership of some kind. So whether you quote them, or whether you write your own version of what they're writing, or whether you just make a comment that's somewhat supportive, all of these are ways that you can recommend to your audience on social media, simply by tagging the influencer that you're talking about, and then showing that you're supportive of their brand as well, and that'll help get you attention from influencers. Maybe not every single one, but obviously a good number of them will at least reply or acknowledge when you give them three cheers for their work. The other thing to do for building actual relationships on social media is meet up with them at an actual event in the real world, or RL, right? Real life. Because really, building relationships is all about supporting each other and being there for each other. So industry events, networking events, charity events, conferences, exhibits, all these kind of different things, showcase events, premieres, any kind of place where you might go in the real world and have the opportunity to meet with the influencer is a good opportunity for you to actually go to. And the reason for that is because if you are in somebody's reality, they're obviously much more likely and inclined to do business with you. Because if you make a good impression and present what you're doing clearly and thoroughly, and without taking too much time, obviously, but make it concise, but make it clear what you're doing, and how it is that you helping them and them helping you can be copacetic, then by all means, those are reasons to go to real world places and meet the influencers that you want to work with online, and be able to help them reach your audience, and more importantly, if they have a bigger audience than you, then help you reach their audience. This can generate a lot of traffic for you, so it's worth doing. And obviously, the more traffic you have, if it's well targeted, you'll get better engagement. And when you have better engagement, you have better SEO, because that's obviously a place that people are coming to do things online, and you're a destination site, and therefore Google and other search engines will see that, and they will send more organic traffic your way. The next part we're going to actually go through. So, by the way, if you don't have time to listen to the rest of this, or you want to come back to it later, this is a good skipping off point. But if not, you should listen to the rest of this. We're going to go into now the quality of the product, right? You want to produce unique content, right? That's the section. Producing unique content is really important because it is what generates traffic. After all, if you have exactly duplicated content from someone else's website, and that site is more authoritative than yours, and they're the originator of all this great content, well, guess who's going to get the organic traffic? It's not going to be you. Google is very smart and knows how to discern that your content is original or not. And if your content is original, then it is what gets ranked. If your content is just a duplicate, you may get away with it for a little while, but after a while, it will be discovered and it will be lowered in the rankings. So producing unique research is critical, and it's something you should always be doing. There's a lot of companies that do this, like Forrester or Stone Temple Consulting or any number of Gartner Research. All these companies do a tremendous amount of research, and they publish it. Very often they publish great summaries, even available for free. And if you see new trends coming in the industry, you can use tools like Google Trends, by the way, to do basic research, and then dig deeper with various research tools, and go pretty deep as you can go, the better. The clearer your information can be, the better. If you do all those things, and you create unique research that is useful to anybody in the industry, then you have really created a tremendous traffic magnet, and something that people can use to gain knowledge, gain insights, and advance their efforts at work. So that's always very good for generating not just a higher amount of traffic, but engaging that traffic with unique and beneficial content. And then after that, what you really want to do is, after you've gone into your niche and you've gone in depth and you've picked out the long tail topic of whether it's how to be in business for under $100, or how to start a website for free, or how to create your own logo without spending too much money, or how to, it could be all kinds of different how-tos. It could be top lists, like top 17 ways to save money on your next vacation, or it could be, top 3 ways to learn music online, or it could be, best 5 sites for health and wellness, or best 5 products for health and wellness. It could be any kind of topic, any kind of subject you can imagine. I'm just going through a bunch that, probably a lot of people care about, or, some big science topic. It could be, how many stars are there in the galaxy? Something like that. And whatever the research is you're doing about, maybe how many stars are in the galaxy isn't the most insightful research, because you could Google that. But finding some useful piece of content, how to market better to customers, or what's the difference between marketing and sales, things like that. Long tail keywords are easier to target and are overall better for scoring on SEO, because you can aggregate a lot more points with long tail keywords than you can by trying to compete for the hardest short tail keywords that are already dominated by bigger brands. So go niche, go in depth, and make sure that whatever you do is not just insightful and maybe hasn't been done before, but is a little bit controversial. And this is a controversial topic, actually. Should you create controversy for the sake of creating controversy, for the sake of garnering attention to your article and content? Some people, think that no, you shouldn't. You should just, have a neutral, non-opinionated view of anything, and let the dice fall where they do. Well, that just isn't the way to go about business, I think. Strategically, it seems, very short-sighted, because everybody is out there doing things for their own self-interests. And the way things move forward, whether you like it or not, is that things that get attention generally move forward faster than things that don't. Things that get attention grow faster than things that don't. Um, you know, um, Ask yourself this: what do you know about the guy that's never been in the newspaper or in any media or any kind of any kind of coverage? Well, nothing. And what do you know about some celebrity in Hollywood whose name you see all over the place all the time? Well, probably a lot more than their fair share, for the simple reason that they get coverage, and very often they do so by being somewhat controversial. They're different, they behave differently, they dress differently, they act differently, they talk differently, whatever it is. Something about the way they do things in life is a little bit different, and probably a little bit controversial. Um, so, think of ways to play devil's advocate inside of your articles, inside of your infographics or videos or marketing materials. Look at ways to make the audience, think twice about what you're presenting, from, multiple points of view if possible. And all that leads to offering free products. Why? Well, because there's a natural link between once you've created unique content and you made it attention worthy, like by having it be a little bit controversial, offering free products is sort of the wow factor. This is the portion of any marketing funnel where you want to give away something of real value for free. And that doesn't mean you're giving away the store here or anything, but you should give away what you can without a loss in revenue or without negatively impacting your growth projections. Something that you can give away that's going to make the person think, wow, they really went out of their way to do something awesome for me that I didn't expect, and that's great, and that's the reason I'm going to refer this to my friends, or at least be a very happy customer and keep renewing my subscription or keep buying the product. So, you can use things like BuzzSumo to find the target market that you're looking to reach in terms of popular content that's being addressed to them and that they're engaging with. There's all kinds of search tools, by the way, for that kind of content. You don't have to use BuzzSumo. There's plenty others out there. You could look at even BuzzFeed and see what kind of, if you're into publishing entertaining content, look at BuzzFeed or look at Imgur or look at Reddit to see what kind of content is engaging and popular and reaching the top of the charts, and then engage with that audience. Obviously, the audience that's relevant to your product or your service. You're more likely to reach them and create a high level of interest if you create topics of content that are specifically designed to reach them. So get specific with your audiences. Don't try to be all things to all people and reach everything, reach everyone, unless you're selling something like the gas utility or the electric company, which everyone uses. And even then, it's got to be market based because that's it. So providing samples for review is one way to offer free products. Providing reports, providing ebooks, those are other ways to do this. Providing free video web courses or webinars is another thing you can do to create free products for people to sign up to your lists or to register for your program or your product. And another thing to do is to run contests so that people can win free products. And once you got free products out there, well, maybe you can make 2 free products, and one of them could be used for a contest, like best video with featuring use of your product or service, or best image, or best whatever it is, quote, anything, best review. Find a way to have a lot of people come in and enter or sign up to something in order to win the free product. This lets you make a first step towards building a relationship and get them into your cycle of marketing to them, and attempting to convert them into being a customer and then retaining them for a long lifetime value. And then of course, once you have influencers, as discussed before, working with you, then you should have free products that you make specifically for the influencers you work with. So, say for example, I was working with somebody who knows all about web security. Well, then I would make some kind of review about which web security software or antivirus program is the best to use. And customize it in a way that addresses that influencer's audience. So, if it's John Smith's audience, then I would say, hey, this is for John Smith fans only. People who follow John Smith can get this special discount, or if you came to us through the John Smith podcast or weblog or video blog, you get this special discount. And that lets you, again, create something of significant value for the people you're working with, in order to trade that for a higher exposure to that person's platform and audience, which again could have significant impact on your growth. And then of course, the reason that a lot of people do these kind of things, these kind of marketing funnels, this kind of attempts to build social influence, is to generate some kind of added revenue. And in the case of people who are, let's say, creating a podcast or a video blog or anything where they're looking for advertising or sponsorship, maybe an event, right? You might be looking for sponsors. Well, social influencers, and earning links from them is one of the strongest ways to positively impact your sponsorship plan. So think of things in addition to thoughts about budget sponsoring or running ads on the influencers' websites. Think about also free posts. Not all websites will give you free posts, but some influencers, will mention you freely or give you a text link. Other sites will let you, put an ad on the sidebars or in the ads or in the email newsletters. But you can actually, create similar inventory for the people you want to advertise on your media. By doing things like, first of all, sponsor their blog, right? Write something about them. Write essentially a sponsorship type of promotion, even if it's not officially a sponsorship promotion yet. In that case, don't say that it is a sponsorship. Only say it's a sponsorship if you're actually doing it in that relationship. But make a genuine and authentic and interesting spot, essentially, that talks about the brand you like, and it shows off their best features and their best qualities and their best values. And then once you make that ad and you've run it, or even before you run it if you want, but generally it's better to do afterwards because it's just an organic piece of content, send a copy of that clip to the target advertiser that you would like to have sponsor your channel. And then what you do is build a relationship with that person and show them that you're interested in what they do, and in exchange for nothing you gave them free airtime just because you believe in their product and it's so great. That'll put you in a much better position to get some of their sponsorship money the next time that their budget is up for renewal and for reprioritization. So you want to get into the target advertiser's spend cycle. And once you do that with featured content that you've made just for them, and you've actually run it on your organic media or your media channel, again, it's going to put you in a much better position to secure them as a sponsor. That's basically how you get the sponsorships for your media, grow your business aims if that's one of your aims. If sponsorship is not your aim, if you're just doing this without the need to secure sponsors, then you do not need to do that last section. But it can still help you if you say things about, for example, your influencers in your media. So you might create a spot for your influencers, or even do a separate interview with them, where you can get them to talk about themselves, their product, their company, their history, what led them to do the work that they do, what inspires them, etc. And when you do that, again, you create real, authentic, genuinely interesting content that is going to be positive for your social signals, especially if they show it to their audience. That'll increase your visitors, increase your engagements, and hopefully increase your conversion rates. That's it for another episode of Marketing Insights with Yasha Harari. I hope you found this useful and insightful, And if you do, please leave us a positive review. And most importantly, pass it on to someone relevant that you think might benefit from this. Always looking to hear more from people and hear from more people. So until the next episode, thanks again for listening and have a great day.